The digital space is a world of connection and opportunity. Take this moment, for example.
The web has made it possible for you to enroll in this program, where you will learn from the personal stories of developers at Meta. Isn't that exciting?
By the time you have completed this professional certificate, you can become a creator of digital experiences. Connection is evolving, and so are you.
You might not have a background in tech at all, and that's okay.
Even if you have no experience, this program can get you job ready within a single year.
So how can this professional certificate prepare you for a job at an organization like Meta?
The Backend Developer Professional Certificate will help you build job-ready skills for a back-end development role while earning a credential from Meta.
From Meta engineers, you will learn about how they collaborate to create and test high-performance websites and applications.
You'll also discuss interesting topics with other aspiring back-end developers and complete a range of coding exercises to improve your skills.
It's important to complete all the courses in the certificate in order, as each course will build on your skills.
Although we have a recommended schedule for each course, the program is entirely self-paced, which means your time is your own to manage.
As you make your way through the courses in the certificate, you'll learn how to program in Python, which is one of the most popular programming languages in the world.
You'll also learn how to query a database and surface its data on an interface, build APIs that connect applications to one another securely,
and use the Django web framework to connect the front end and back end of your web application.
For your final project, you will create a web application with a functional integration, designed and developed with best practice back-end architecture to showcase as part of your portfolio during your job search.
You'll also be ready to collaborate with other developers, as you will have learned to use Git and GitHub for version control.
If you're hoping to operate independently or in a smaller team, not to worry. We've also got you covered when it comes to the basics of cloud computing.
In the final course, you'll prepare for the coding interview. You'll practice your interview skills, refine your resume, and tackle some common coding challenges that typically form part of technical job interviews.
Once you complete the program, you'll get access to the Meta Career Program's job board,
a job search platform that connects you with over 200 employers who have committed to sourcing talent through Meta certificate programs.
Who knows where you'll end up? Whatever the future of connection looks like, you'll be part of its creation. Let's get started. Many of the activities you do every day can be entirely performed online. You can use applications on your phone, computer, tablet, or other devices to access the web and perform tasks such as shopping, reserving hotels, and chatting with friends and work colleagues. With remote working becoming more popular, you can work, engage with your colleagues, and be productive all from the comfort of your home. All of that is possible with a combination of internet infrastructure and technologies and skilled professionals who build the apps that you use. Just to mention that when you come across the term app, it could refer to an app on your phone or to a web app that runs on a website or by some other online method. In this course, starting with Module 1, you will cover an introduction to how the web works, including an exploration of web pages, web servers, and web browsers. You will learn what each is and what their role is in bringing the internet to you. You will also get hands-on practice using core internet technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You will learn how developers bring these technologies together and build functional and interactive websites and web applications. As you progress, you will explore some of the tools used by professional developers, and you will learn the fundamentals of coding using best practices and standards. For example, you will learn how to use the web browser's built-in developer tools and code using industry standard software known as an Integrated Development Environment, or IDE. Professionals use IDEs to write code more efficiently. In Module 2, you will begin your coding journey with an introduction to HTML5 and CSS. You will learn the basics of each of these languages and how they complement each other to lay out and style elements on a web page. This includes text, images, and multimedia elements like video. Additionally, to make sure that your web page is accessible to everyone, you will learn how to code for web accessibility. In Module 3, you will learn how developers use frameworks and libraries. This module will focus on responsive design. You will learn how to implement the Bootstrap library so that web pages can offer a great browsing experience no matter what type of device is used. You will also learn about user interface or UI design and how to work with common UI components and position them using the flexible Bootstrap grid. Next, you'll be introduced to React, a free and open source JavaScript library that developers use to build user interfaces based on UI components. And you will then learn about the difference between static and dynamic content and the benefits of using single-page applications. And speaking of content, in Module 4, you will have an opportunity to put your new skills into practice by editing your very own biographical webpage. In summary, this course provides you with an introduction to web development. It is part of a program of courses that leads you towards a career in software development. There are many videos in your course that will gradually guide you toward that goal. Watch, pause, rewind, and re-watch the videos until you are confident in your skills. Then, consolidate your knowledge by consulting the course readings and put your skills into practice during the course exercises. Along the way, you'll encounter several knowledge quizzes where you can self-check your progress. You're not alone in considering a career as a web developer, and the course discussion prompts enable you to connect with your classmates. It's a great way to share knowledge, discuss difficulties, and make new friends. To be successful in the course, you should try to develop a schedule for your learning regime. Ideally, commit yourself to a regular time slot and duration for your study. You've probably encountered many new technical words and terminology in this video. Don't worry if you don't fully understand all these terms right now. Everything will become clearer as you progress through the course. When you eat at a restaurant, there are often many cooks preparing different parts of your meal. Similarly, for the websites and applications you use every day, many roles are involved in delivering these projects to users. If you were to look up a list of high-paying IT jobs, web developer roles would certainly feature prominently, and with good reason. The digital world that we all live in would not be possible without developers creating, architecting, and maintaining the technology that we use every day on our devices. But it can be confusing for aspiring developers to understand some of the terminology associated with web development. Finding the right area for you will depend on a greater understanding of web developers' roles, responsibilities, and technologies. For example, suppose you are a visual person. In that case, you might want to design a stunning website that offers an excellent experience for its end users. Or, if you're more analytical, you might be interested in working with the technologies that power a high-performing e-commerce site. Likewise, if your interest is mobile devices, your passion may lie in creating the next big social media app. While job roles and titles may vary, web developer roles are usually split into front-end, back-end, and full stack. In this video, you will learn about each of these, their differences, and the skills required to gain a job in these areas. A front-end developer is someone that works on all parts of a website or web app that users will interact with. This can be anything from the style, colours, buttons, menus, or user interactions as they click, swipe, and interact with the site. The skills of a front-end developer can vary, but they will always focus on three leading technologies: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. For example, suppose you are a front-end developer assigned the task of adding a newsletter sign-up option to the homepage of a website. In this case, you would use HTML to build the display elements, such as the input area for the user to type their email address and then the button to click to send it. You can then use CSS to position, colour, and style these elements on the page. And finally, you can use JavaScript to process the activity when the user clicks the button. This could be something like checking the email address is valid and then sending that email address to the website for storage under newsletter members. While HTML and CSS skills are essential, the most critical skill is usually JavaScript. It is the powerhouse of front-end technology. This is mainly because of its versatility and the fact that it is paired with powerful libraries and frameworks such as React by Meta. These can be used to build rich user interface-driven enterprise websites and web apps that are fast, secure, and highly scalable. The salary of front-end developers are competitive and can vary based on experience. Generally, front-end developer roles will be available for junior, intermediate, and senior level professionals. As an aspiring developer, this is a great area to get started in. Entry into the job market for a junior position is possible with some fundamental demonstrations of core concepts and skills and an eye-catching sample portfolio. A back-end developer works on the parts of a website or web app that the end users don't see. These activities occur behind the scenes, particularly on the web server, in the database, or in constructing the architecture. Back-end developers are responsible for creating and maintaining functionality when users request information or when the website needs to communicate to another part of the web architecture for processing. For example, performing an account login or completing an online purchase using a credit card. A back-end developer will facilitate the interaction of the website and the content stored in a database. As a result, back-end development requires different languages, skills, and tools. While these can vary, they generally consist of knowledge relating to back-end programming language, database management systems, APIs, and web servers. Salaries are similar to front-end developers and depend on experience. Still, the salary may be higher in some instances, especially for entry and senior level positions. This is because getting started with back-end technologies requires more setup, configuration, resources, and general IT structural knowledge. This is in contrast to the front end, where you can start learning some elements using only a web browser. The road to back-end development is generally long, as you must have a proficient understanding of the needs of front-end technologies. This can include things like the inner workings of the internet, networks, and servers. It's pretty common for aspiring developers to first start with the front end and then move to the back end once they have acquired specialized knowledge. A full-stack developer is someone equally comfortable working with front-end and back-end technologies. Full-stack developers have skills and knowledge in all areas of the web development project cycle. For example, they have relevant expertise in the planning, architecture, design, development, deployment, and maintenance of the website or web app. Full-stack developer positions are generally at a more senior level. It can take some time to gain the knowledge, professional experience, and skills to become a full-stack developer. As a result, roles in this area are in high demand and are some of the best paid jobs in the IT industry.
Ever wondered how your app loads up so fast, or how when you keep on scrolling, the information comes back just as quick? We help to pretty much build snappy programs, build architectural solutions that can help you use your app well and efficiently. All right. My name is Grace Ebo, and I'm a backend engineer at Meta, and I help to build solutions that can help build our products at Meta at scale to run efficiently and reliably. My hope is that you get to understand just a little bit more about what a backend engineer is and the unique value that they add to the team. There are over 3 billion users on the platform, and so a question that always comes up is, how can we ensure that we're able to support all these users that are using this platform and not, let's say, bring down the site or make the programs and applications to be really slow? And so for me, that's probably one of the cool parts that I like to do, is how to optimize and say, how can I make this experience to be even faster? How can I push the limits? How can I continue to make it of a more efficient and better experience for users? After I get some food and get my fuel up, I then begin with first looking through reviews. So I pretty much review my coworkers' code just to see how I can support them. Is there anything that looks good, anything that needs changes, just so that they can get their code to production? And then from there, I usually have some meetings, and these meetings usually are around the area of either updates or what are potential projects that we can be working on, then begin to code and get into my flow. I would say the most rewarding part of my day is being able to have a potential solution to something that has probably been nagging at my brain for days. At Meta, we honestly encounter some really complex problems, almost the fact that I think they're impossible sometimes. But that's the beauty of being able to really push the limits and say, can we go faster? Can we make it more snappier? Can we make it more ideal for even our client and engineers to work with? Sometimes I've had dreams about just potential code optimizations. And then it's just when I now say kind of that aha moment, it's like, this can work. This is it. And I write it down, type it in the code, and then boom, that's it. It actually works, and it's actually helping to achieve the goal that I set when I wrote it on my notebook. So from the technical side of things, I use Python, I use Java, more so depending on the project and what could kind of help me achieve my goal easier. Because definitely languages each have their pros and their cons. But what you may not always realize is that soft skills are even all the more necessary. So things like communication, how are you able to listen? And listen not just to respond, but actually listen to understand. And when you hear different perspectives that may not agree with yours. And especially in this distributed remote world, it has become all the more necessary as well. So I work with front-end engineers and full-stack engineers in honestly diverse ways. So for example, on my team in particular, we usually have a product, and then from there, we are able to just divvy it up based on different platforms and use cases. And so as a backend engineer, I'm able to now build what is called the schema and the architecture of how we should be able to use this data. And it's a two-way street. Sometimes client and front-end engineers will say, we actually need this data to be worded this way, or we need it to be in a different structure. So from there, I can either update, change, optimize, just to ensure that the client engineers are able to do their work more efficiently as well. And in the end, we want to ensure that we build a product for our users that it's well built and efficient and scalable for ultimately years to come. From your year 1 to even year 5 or year 10, there's always going to be something that you may not know. And it's always going to be an opportunity to learn something new and to continue to grow your skill set and your repository, pun intended, of different technologies and opportunities to grow and make things more optimal or scalable at different companies. There's always going to be a need of how we can scale, of how we can make things more snappier, about how we can make things run more efficient. And it's you and the work that you're doing now that is going to be able to help power that in the future.